Welcome back. The news in detail. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli attended the inauguration of International Dubai Ports Egypt for Logistics Services Corporation. Earlier, Prime Minister inaugurated a project for gas recovery for production of cooking gas in Nasr Petroleum Company's oil refinery in Suez. This came during his inspection of the Suez Governorate, marking the 52nd national anniversary. Madbouli said that President Sisi have given directions to give a big boost to developmental projects in the governorate in line with the development scheme across governorates. The inspection tour includes visits to a number of developmental health and education projects in Suez and the inauguration of a number of new projects in the economic zone of the Suez Canal in Sokhna region. Minister of Foreign Affairs, Migration and Expatriate Affairs Badr Abdulati discussed with the Minister of Labour Mohammed Gubran the issues of immigration and Egyptian labour abroad. The two ministers reviewed the importance of establishing the unified and comprehensive national database for labour. The meeting also tackled the latest development in the implementation of memoranda of understanding signed between Egypt and a number of European countries. Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati expressed the importance of activating the role of Egyptian-German Center as one of bilateral cooperation mechanisms in the field of moving Egyptian labourers to Germany. The entry of humanitarian and relief aid trucks into Gaza Strip resumed today within the framework of continuous efforts to alleviate the suffering of Palestinians in the Strip. The 58th aid convoy of Zad al-Izza heading from Egypt to Gaza entered Rafah land port heading to Gaza Strip. The convoy included tons of trucks carrying food, medical and relief aid to meet the needs of the Palestinian people in Gaza Strip. 4 Palestinians were injured in central Gaza when Israeli occupation strikes hit a civilian vehicle in the Nusayrat camp. Medical sources said the death toll from the Israeli aggression on Gaza have reached 68,500 with restricting the flow of aid. He also added that the Rafah border crossing is still blocked by the occupation authorities. The statement also listed bombing homes and residential neighborhoods, especially in eastern Gaza. The Israeli occupation authorities are still banning the daily entry of 608 trucks into Gaza in a breach of the terms of ceasefire deal that went into force in early October. Sudan's paramilitary rapid support forces said today they had captured the army headquarters in the city of Al-Fashir, the Sudanese army's last stronghold in the Darfur region in the west of the country. The RSF have besieged the city, the capital of North Darfur state, for the past 18 months. It have targeted civilians in frequent drone and artillery strikes, while the siege have spread starvation among the city where 250,000 people remain. Al-Fashir would be a significant political victory for the RFC physical split, enabling the paramilitary group to consolidate its control over the vast Darfur region, which it have identified as the base for a parallel government established this summer. The Kurdish PKK said today it was withdrawing all its forces from Turkey to northern Iraq, urging Ankara to take legal steps to protect the peace process as held a ceremony in northern Iraq. It released a picture showing 25 fighters, among them 8 women who had already traveled there from Turkey. The PKK is currently making the transition From armed insurgency to democratic politics in a bid to end one of the region's longest conflicts, which claimed some 50,000 lives. But it urged Turkey to take a necessary step to push forward the process, which began a year ago when Ankara offered an unexpected olive branch to its jailed leader Abdullah Öcalan. The group have said it wants to pursue a democratic struggle to defend the rights of the Kurdish minority in line with a historic call by Öcalan. Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky have called for new strong sanctions against Russia and its allies after the Russian drones have killed 3 and injured 31, including 6 children, in an overnight air attack on Kyiv.
Russia targeted Ukraine's capital with drones, killing 3 people in their homes. Russian local authorities said at least 29 people were wounded, 7 of them children, in what was the second consecutive nighttime attack on Kyiv to claim civilian lives. Russian drones caused fires in 2 residential buildings in the capital's Destnyansky district. Emergency crews evacuated civilians from a 9-story building and a 16-story building. According to Ukraine's Air Force, Russia attacked Ukraine with 101 drones overnight on Sunday, of which 90 were shot down and neutralized by Ukrainian forces. However, 5 strike drones hit 4 locations. Debris from shot-down drones fell on 5 locations. The attack on Sunday comes a day after a mass Russian missile and drone attack killed 4 people, including 2 in the capital, prompting fresh pleas from Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky for Western air defense systems. Earlier, Ukrainian president urged the United States to expand sanctions on Russian oil from 2 companies to the whole sector and appealed for long-range missiles to hit back at Russia.
Thailand and Cambodia signed an expanded ceasefire agreement on Sunday during a ceremony attended by U.S. President Donald Trump, whose threats of economic pressure prodded the 2 nations to halt skirmishes along their disputed border earlier this year. Thailand will release Cambodian prisoners, and Cambodia will begin withdrawing heavy artillery as part of the first phase of the deal. Regional observers will monitor the situation to ensure fighting doesn't restart. The ceremony was Trump's first event after arriving at the annual summit of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations hosted in Kuala Lumpur. Egypt's bourse closed higher today amid purchases by local and foreign corporations and investment funds against sell-offs by local investors and Arab corporations. The market capital of listed companies added 26 billion Egyptian pounds, reaching 2.7 trillion pounds at the end of transactions that exceeded 27 billion pounds. The benchmark index, EGX 30, rose 1.1% above the 38,000-point mark. The equal weighted indices EGX 70 and EGX 100 climbed 1.52% and 1.51% respectively. Minister of Finance Ahmed Kojuk stressed his ministry's commitment to build trust with the private sector and citizens through intensifying efforts to push forward financial activities, improve economic indications, reduce government debt rates, provide needed allocations for social protection programs. The minister added that his ministry will adopt a new strategy to focus sharply on health and education files and to achieve balance between the economic and social dimensions. Ahmed Kojuk was speaking during the Strategic Planning Forum, which was attended by top officials of the Finance Ministry.